year. You got to be excited for the Grand Slams 2023. Djokovic dominating, laying down a 6-0 bagel in the first round at the Australian Open. I just want to come on live with you guys with a couple of thoughts. I mean, it's pretty amazing that Djokovic, everything he's been through at this age, we just take it for granted. The guy is in his mid-30s. He's laying down 6-0 bagels against supposedly the other best tennis players in the world. And when you look at it, Djokovic comes out, absolutely dominates. Nadal wins yesterday. Berrettini goes down to Andy Murray. Let me repeat that. Djokovic wins his last set 6-0 today. Nadal goes out, loses a set, but still routine, comfortable victory. Berrettini goes down to Murray. And so it really is just crazy how much these guys don't go away. I mean, are they going to be winning Grand Slam titles with their AARP card, right? Are they going to be getting senior discounts at the local cafe, right, at the local diner, and still winning Grand Slam titles? Because as great as the rest of the field is, and the rest of the field's very good, but, I mean, they just cannot break through year after year. I mean, Berrettini should not be losing to Andy Murray. He just should not be losing to Andy Murray at his stage and Andy's stage, and Andy having a hip surgery. He shouldn't be losing at this stage of his career to Andy Murray, but Andy Murray made him look silly, and he made himself look silly. He just missed a lot of shots. But Djokovic right now, guys, what do you guys think? After watching today, this is the Australian Open for Djokovic is Rafa's French Open, if that makes sense. Like, this is where Djokovic is dominant. He's spread out the Grand Slam titles all over the field, right? I mean, he's won, if he wins this will be his 10th title as the Australian Open champion. I think he's won 7 now Wimbledons, which is pretty amazing. He's won, I think, close to a handful of U.S. Opens. And does he have 2 French Opens? I mean, pretty amazing how just solid he is all over the place. One of the few people ever to beat Rafa a couple times on clay at the French Open. So, I mean, he's just so well-rounded. But this right here, this is where he dominates at the Australian Open. And after watching the first round and knowing what he went through last year, is there any way possible that he does not win this tournament? Because we have to ask, you know, until the rest of the field steps up, it's just him and Rafa, right? I mean, who is going to beat Djokovic? Can Rafa beat Djokovic? I mean, Rafa does surprise you. Every time you think he's getting too old, every time you think he's done or whatever, or that somebody else is just too good, Rafa will surprise you, and he just shows you, like, never bet against a champion. So, you know, you certainly can't count Rafa out. I think you've got to put Djokovic and Rafa at the top of the field and then figure out, well, who out of the rest of the field is actually ready to step up and challenge? You know, when you watch them play individual matches, you think, well, it could be a lot of people. You know, it could be Tsitsipas, and maybe he's going to do it. It could be Medvedev. Medvedev's been the closest on big stages to really challenge, you know, the legends. Medvedev came out on fire. I mean, Medvedev just put the beat down on his opponent. So, you know, I would say, really, in my mind, it's Djokovic, Nadal, and Medvedev, and everybody else at this point is just a pretender. You know, Tsitsipas, he was looking good for a while, and then he just went away pretty much the second half of last year. So, I mean, Tsitsipas he doesn't look like he's quite ready. Maybe this year will be different. Maybe the calendar changed another year, and all of a sudden he'll be ready. But I'm just struggling to come up with names that can legitimately challenge Djokovic and Nadal. And the only one I can think of, you guys let me know, maybe you can comment, maybe who am I missing? Alexander Zverev, until his injury, he was kind of starting to knock on the door. It looked like his double faults, yips were going away, and he was playing some solid tennis, and he was starting to believe in himself. But he's been gone for so long, I don't think you can put him up there. I don't want to put Tsitsipas up there yet. I mean, although he's had a great match. Remember, he had a great match against Rafa where he was down 2 sets and he came back and won 3 sets, which, you know, who's ever done that? He might be the only one who's ever done that. I mean, has anybody else ever done that? That's another good one that you guys love a comment on. You know, has anybody ever come back on Rafa being down 2 sets? I would think he's the only guy who's ever done that. Yeah, so I'm going to end this live stream, but I would love some comments as you start to think about it. Who else can challenge Djokovic besides Nadal? The only name I'm coming up with where I'm going, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, is Medvedev. Medvedev's the only one I can think of, and I'm just drawing a blank. I cannot think of another player on the ATP Tour, unfortunately, you know, as old as these guys are, who can actually challenge them in the Grand Slams if they're healthy. I can't think of anybody else. And it's crazy because there's so many great players out there, but they just fall so short, you know, in these big tournaments. You know, if it's just another, you know, 500 ATP 500 tournament or even some Masters 1000s, you know, they occasionally can get some wins. But when it comes down to the majors, think about this. Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic have over 12 years of Grand Slam titles. They have over 12 years of Grand Slam titles among the three. So, I don't know. It looks like they're going to have to wait. And it's going to be sad. I'm going to hate to see, you know, a Grand Slam champion. Well, I'll love it, actually, because I'm getting older now. We're all getting older. But, I mean, I guess it will be kind of cool to see, you know, somebody with their ARP card, right, getting their senior discounts at the movies, still winning Grand Slam titles, because I just don't see these guys ever losing. They just seem like this keep going and going and going. Every year we're going, yeah, but this will be the last year they could possibly do it. I mean, we've been saying that now for about 7-8 years, I would say, at least, maybe more. So let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. Can anybody challenge Djokovic? Can Nadal challenge Djokovic? You know, I just will not count Nadal out. I just will not do it. You know, Djokovic clearly looks like the favorite to me. You can never count Medvedev in there, but it's definitely Djokovic looking sharp, looking ready to just start 2023 out. Every time he gets a chance to be on the court, he don't lose very much. So let me know. Comment below. Thanks for checking in this live stream. We'll be back with more now that the Australian Open's going. And have a great day. Thanks for watching.